It's just another thirsty Thursday, but only one more day till Friday, and that's only one day from Saturday, and Saturday is better than Sunday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Thursday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Thursday. Thursday. Whoa, Thursday is the day that we take for granted, because we know our Friday plans could be slanted. But today's only 2 days from the weekend, and only 36 hours from hanging with our friends. Something tells me this day will go fine, and for dinner I think I'll have a glass of wine. Cause it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Thursday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Thursday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Thursday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Thursday. Thursday, over the hump day, Thursday, the end is inside day, Thursday. It could be worse day. Oh, it's Thursday. That Randy Hughes and Joe Kachiever is brewing some more beer at the brewery for the weekend today. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Thursday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Thursday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Thursday. It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thursday. Unlike last week, we actually have to come in tomorrow and do some stupid work.
You're 1 week from Rockfest.
I'm less than a week because we leave on Tuesday.
And the music starts Wednesday?
Wednesday. Yeah. Getting the camper on Monday, the RV, bringing it home, getting it loaded up, doing some shopping this weekend, getting all of our supplies, everything we need, which isn't much. They take good care of us up there in the corporate VIP. And then, Tuesday after the show, get home, the camper will be loaded up, pick up the wife and the pups, and then we're out of here. Headed to Cadott, get up there, get set up, get the air conditioning cranked.
I was feeling part of that yesterday when we were out setting up for Country Boom, which is right in our backyard for this weekend, as a matter of fact. So
then start rocking on Wednesday. It's going to be a hell of a good time. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Have you looked ahead at the weather?
I'm looking right now.
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn. Look at those sevens.
I know, I did see
on Wednesday,
that.
Thursday, Friday. It's, goddamn.
Sevens.
Oh.
I knew that. I had looked ahead for you.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nothing excites me more than knowing that I'm going to an outdoor music festival and I don't have to sweat to death.
And it could be in the 70s.
It could be nice. It could be another hoodie year.
I thought yesterday was really nice, and it wasn't even too bad. It was hot. Last night was nice.
I might have to change my underpants.
Yeah, I know. The 60s at night look good, too.
Bro.
Yeah.
The only thing is there's a little bit of rain on Wednesday and Saturday from what I'm seeing. But that's a week from now.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Thanks to everybody who's texting in about the stream. It's not working. The people who can fix that are working on it. Appreciate the text messages.
Speaking of rain, is that a slight chance then?
I see a little chance today and then some tomorrow with possibly a thunderstorm. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah, some likely rain scattered at best tomorrow, but likely. And then again on Saturday, a chance.
Got a lot to get to today. Office Cora going to join us just after 8 o'clock. Hypothetical Thursday. We're going to ask each other hypothetical questions starting at about 7:15. Going to be talking about toast. What do you know about toast?
You can make it in varying shades.
You certainly can.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy texting in, asking if the app is down, if there's something wrong with the streaming. There is. T-Stats,
working on
Jamie, Dan, all texting in. We're working on it.
Yep.
Appreciate it. I can't get the app to stream or on the website.
I love my toaster. I bought a new toaster like in November or something. It's a very thumbs up. I just had a cheap two slot thing that was just whatever, and this one's a 4 slot. Two sides are for gluten.
I'm surprised.
Has to be that way. It is. It does.
Gluten-free toaster.
Yeah.
You can't have the bread go in with the rest of the bread.
Not if he doesn't want to get sick.
Okay.
And it has a little crumb catcher at the bottom.
Did you label it just in case you don't make a mistake?
Labeled.
Oh, Christ.
It is labeled, as a matter of fact.
That's so funny.
It's not really funny.
It is kind of funny. I didn't think it went that far. It's just toast and little crumbs of toast.
Yeah.
Those
Someone who has issues.
Little wisps of crust can get in there and say, oh, God.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know.
Make him sick. Crumb catcher, though. It has a crumb catcher on the bottom. I've never had that before.
All toasters have a crumb catcher.
Well, mine must have been broke or didn't come with one or something.
Yeah, it's a little trap door on the bottom. They all got it. You open the trap door in the sink and it all comes out.
It slides out.
Most of them have a slide out, but some of them have the trap door. Yeah. You didn't know that?
Well, like I said, mine must have been old and busted.
Lots to get to, including some Rage Against the Machine. We'll do that in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. The stream down. Apologies. They're working on it. Thank you for all the text messages, though. Appreciate it. T-Stat. Good morning. Just a quick question. I was wondering if you had any other reports of the app not working this morning, or is it just me? The app works, but the streaming doesn't. Mm-hmm. FYI.
It's not just you, which is a good feeling to know. It's not just you.
Not just you.
Yeah, that's good.
The suspect in a La Crosse homicide case may reach a plea agreement this fall. Alan Fry scheduled for a hearing on September 16th. He could plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Sentencing would be held on a later date. Fry, accused of shooting his stepfather, Brady Fredrickson, during an argument on a house at a house on Farnham Street back in 2024. Reportedly shot Fredrickson 3 times and then fired 7 more shots before he was arrested. Fry has been examined for competence, facing 4 charges, including arson and endangering safety. Meanwhile, 4 suspects identified in the thefts at the Sparta Butterfest grounds back in June, and it's children. Ages 12, 13, 15, and another 15-year-old identified as suspected offenders. The case involving multiple thefts from the vendors at Sparta Butterfest is now closed on the morning of June 7th. The Sparta Police Department took multiple reports of overnight thefts from vendor tents at Sparta Butterfest on the grounds. The Sparta Police say the 4 suspects have been referred to Monroe County Human Services on charges of theft. Looks like they were stealing like jewelry and necklaces and stuff like that.
From vendors, right, that were at the event.
Yeah. All juveniles referred to the Monroe County Human Services. Photos of some of the recovered property below. But yeah, these kids, again, 12, 13, and 2 15-year-olds breaking into tents at Butterfest back in June and stealing a bunch of stuff, and now they've been identified. A confluence of errors caused nearly 200 absentee ballots to go uncounted in Madison during the November election, according to a report of the Wisconsin Elections Commission's investigation. The draft decision letter and proposed order cites a failure in the city of Madison's Madison clerk office in counting the ballots, concluding that there was a lack of leadership, no system in place that would track the number of absentee ballots going to a polling place. The report says, quote, these ballots were treated as unimportant and a reconciliation nuisance rather than as the essential part of our democracy they represent. Chair Ann Jacobs and the Commissioner Don Millis delegated to lead the investigation, listing fact findings in the report. Nearly 2,000 pages of documents were reviewed. 13 depositions were held as well. Findings from the investigation include that 2 bags of absentee ballots from Ward 65 and 56 likely never made it to the polling sites to be counted. Talk about a complete disregard of doing your job.
That's your job. That is definition of your job. Is
the commission, of course, condemning former clerk Maribeth Witzel Bell's lack of action, saying the ballots from one of the wards could have been counted at the time the bag was found. For the second bag of ballots, the commission stated that Witzel Bell showed no urgency in notifying the commission about it. She obviously is no longer in that position. By the way, just got a report the app is the streaming is back up.
awesome.
and running. So if you were texting us and wondering, it looks like it's back. A Milwaukee businessman, former Navy SEAL, and political newcomer entering Wisconsin's race for governor officially yesterday. Bill Berrien, 56 years old, becomes the second Republican to announce for the 2026 race for the governor's seat. Democratic Governor Tommy Evers, 73, has not yet said whether or not he'll seek a third term, but indicated this week he will announce his decision sometime in July. Berrien joins Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman as the only announced candidates for the race. This is Berrien's first race for office, his first statewide campaign for both he and the other candidate. Texas, of course, still looking for people and scouring to hopefully find some of the missing. Right now, 170 plus missing people in the wake of the devastating flooding along Texas's Guadalupe River, dwindling yesterday as officials in the hardest hit county say they haven't rescued anyone alive since the day of the flood, which was on July 4th. So now we're just about a week removed. At least 27 of the deaths, children and counselors from Camp Mystic. Death toll hitting hard in Kerr County. Yesterday, that number increased to 95, including 36 children. At least 161 people still missing in Kerr County.
It's a lot.
According to the governor, Greg Abbott. And cause of death officially released in Michael Madsen's case. Found dead at the age of 67 inside of his home in Malibu back on July 3rd. His cardiologist reportedly told NBC4 in L.A. that the actor died from heart failure, and the outlet reported that authorities closed the investigation into his death. His manager had previously said in a statement, what we understand is Michael had a cardiac arrest and was found unresponsive in his Malibu home earlier this morning. So officially it sounds like heart attack.
I don't know if you heard yesterday about the double homicide victims from Middleton, where the shooter had fled to Vernon County.
And then took his own life while he was pulled over by authorities.
Yes, and I haven't heard any more about who that individual is or why or how there was relation there, but the gentleman that was killed was a State Patrol Bureau director.
Okay.
And his wife were the victims. He had been a part of the police department for years and years and years, integral member of the Wisconsin State Patrol for 38 years. And she was a beloved teacher in the Middleton School District, a special education teacher that had dedicated her life to teaching within the Middleton Cross Plains School District.
Awful. Three-way with Brian and Gene on Rock Mornings. Cloudy. Going to be in the mid-80s. Again, the stream is working again. So if you were waiting for that, you should be able to reopen your app and stream us. Take us wherever you go. 95.7 The Rock app or 92.9 The X app. Download the apps. You can also submit stuff through the app. Pictures, images, voicemails, videos. Let us know what you're up to, those kind of things. It's Rage Against the Machine.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Rage Against the Machine with the Renegades of Funk on a cloudy Thursday. Looks like we'll get into the mid-80s, but going to be kind of cloudy all day long.
Yesterday I thought was beautiful, and last night was real nice, and it looks like we have a slight chance of rain on here and there. Maybe today a little sprinkle, but tomorrow there's a chance, and cooling off for Rockfest next week. Looking at those temperatures in the 70s.
Again, got a text at the app, and streaming is now working again after being down earlier this morning, so appreciate all the text messages, but should be good to go. If you were waiting for the stream to work, it's back up and running. Jackson Churio singling home the winning run in the 10th inning, and the Brew Crew rallied to beat the Dodgers 3-2 yesterday to complete their first home sweep of the Dodgers in franchise history. That's right. The Brew Crew have never swept the Dodgers at home.
Except, here we go.
This week.
Here we go.
They did sweep the Dodgers in L.A. back in May of 2012 and August of 2017, but they've never done it in Milwaukee until this week. The NL West leading Dodgers have now lost 6 straight, and the Brewers are off today. They're at home against the Nationals tomorrow at 7:10 for the first of 3 against Washington. That is the final 3 games, by the way, of the first half of the season before they break for the All-Star.
Here's Churio now, looking for his first big league walk-off. Churio, base hit, ball game, Freeland scores, and the Brewers win. They sweep the Dodgers. Jackson Churio with his first career walk-off makes a winner out of the Brew Crew, sending the Dodgers to their 6th straight loss.
Rough week for the Dodgers, man. Rough week.
Welcome to Milwaukee.
Brewers are hot right now, man. They're hot.
I'll take it.
Tampa Bay Rays slugger Junior Caminero, who leads all American League third basemen in home runs, said yesterday that he will take part in the home run derby on Monday in Atlanta. Said, quote, "I'm going to put on a show. I'm going to try to put on a show just to give the fans the opportunity to get to know me, see my power. Just being there with all those other all-stars, it's going to be something very special." I think there's still one spot remaining in the home run derby, which is on Monday. Major League Baseball, speaking of the All-Star break, they will continue to test the automatic balls and strikes challenge system at the All-Star game in Atlanta next week. It's the ABS system. After initially testing it out in spring training, MLB planning to try it out again at the Midsummer Classic. The same process will be used as in the spring. Each team will be allowed 2 challenges with the ability to keep them if they are successful with their challenge. The pitcher, catcher, and batter are the only 3 who can call for a challenge, which must happen immediately after a pitch. No outside help from the dugout is allowed. They'll obviously be talking about this during the broadcast and bringing it up and explaining it more in detail. But, yeah, they're looking at testing and continuing to test the ABS challenge system during the All-Star game next week. Dallas Wings will try again to showcase a Caitlin Clark-Paige Beckers matchup at home. This time they'll do it at the NBA's arena for the Dallas Mavericks, a much bigger arena, because when Caitlin Clark and that circus rolls into town, you can't be in a small arena. You got to be in
someplace tiny.
They're playing in I think they're playing in an in-between stadium right now, so they're not technically in their home site, but they're going to move to where the Mavericks play. The Wings said earlier this week the club is moving the game on August 1st against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever to American Airlines Center.
That's awesome.
What was supposed to be the first matchup of the past 2 number 1 picks in the WNBA draft was held at AAC on June 27th. Clark missed that game due to a groin injury. Becker scored 27 points, the second highest total of her rookie season. So they're obviously trying to get a lot of eyes on this one. And they'll sell a lot more tickets moving into the American Airlines Center. Phoenix Suns superstar Devin Booker, 2-year, $145 million max contract extension with the franchise through 29 and 30, the highest annual extension salary in NBA history. People be getting paid.
Big checks.
Big checks. Lots of money.
Yeah.
Got a day to remember in a bit. Office Core going to join us just after 8. Let us know what she's up to this weekend in 715, and we will get to our hypothetical questions just after 7 a.m.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Where's the kitten? What kitten?
So why the kitten?
Cat lovers, today is your day to celebrate. Today is National Kitten Day. July 10th is set aside to observe all the fluffy adorableness.
Kittens? Baby kittens. It's so cute.
I like kittens. I just want kittens.
Happy National Kitten Day.
You freaks ready for the big show?
It's showtime.
National Kitten Day, Gene.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see your kitties.
The cat distribution system. Have you heard about that?
The cat distribution system?
Yeah.
No. What is this?
Well, people are just like out doing things. They're at a job. It's a guy who finds it, in the engine when they go to work on a car. Or there's a lady out running and it comes across the road, and then now you will have a cat. It's the cat.
So it's find a cat, take a cat?
Yeah, have a cat.
It's like the penny jar or the penny dish?
It's like, this is cat distribution system. Now I guess I have a cat.
I'm not bringing home cats if I find them. I'm taking them to the Humane Society. I mean, no offense. I know they're overloaded, but I'm not I'm not you. I ain't bringing any stray cats to my house.
By the way, the Cooley Region Humane Society has had a donation that is helping to waive fees for some of the cats that they have there. So if you're looking to add a kitty cat to your life, right now they've got some programs where the fees are all waived.
So it's National Kitten Day. It's also Don't Step on a Bee Day.
I would not want to
Sound
do that
advice?
anyways. Yes, yeah.
Sound advice. And it's National Pina Colada Day.
If you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain.
If you like making love at midnight in the dunes by the lake.
It's a creamy, sweet tropical drink, Brian.
I'm not a fan. I like the song a lot better than I like the drink.
Rum and cream.
It sounds like a blast.
Coconut and pineapple juice.
Those kind of fruity
Not for you.
I did a margarita for the first time a year ago.
For the first time?
Dude, I don't drink those kind of things. I don't like them. I'm not a booze drinker, first of all. Unless I'm drinking JMO straight out of the bottle, I'm really not drinking alcohol. I'm drinking beer, which is why I'm fat and disgusting.
For the first time?
Yeah, we were at Las Margaritas, and they had the one with the little mini Corona bottle, and I was like, whatever. It was National Margarita Day. And I said, I'll give it a shot. Right. And it was, whatever. But I wouldn't be like, I need one of these in my life.
Pina coladas are not a thing that people do often.
It's blending, a lot of blending, right?
It's it's a special thing at a special place for a special moment, it feels like.
National Kitten Day, National Pina Colada Day, and Don't Step on a Bee Day. All three of them at the same time, Gene. Television tonight, you've got Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires on Disney, starting at 6 p.m.
I'm not a daywalker. I'm a cheerleader. Vampires are evil and ruthless. He's just green and clueless.
Thank you. Yes, wait, that's mean. Okay.
The vampires and daywalkers hate each other. How much longer can we live in fear?
You feel safe? Because I don't.
We come from a town called Seabrook, where all monsters live together in peace.
That is not gonna happen.
So this is like teenage monsters? Zombies, vampires, daywalkers, werewolves.
And they all live together.
And I guess they're kind of nice, but they fight.
Monster High.
It's on Disney, so it can't be violent, right? Or real violent. Also tonight on ABC, the 11th season premiere of Celebrity Family Feud. Taraji P. Henson versus Jennifer Hudson and the Dan Patrick Show taking on the Rich Eisen Show. Season 11 premiere of Celebrity Family Feud is at 7 o'clock tonight on ABC. Over on CBS tonight, it's the 27th season premiere of Big Brother. Mm-hmm. It'd be funny if they had it hosted by Hulk Hogan and the Big Brother. No? Just me? All right. Also tonight on ABC, very excited for this one, the return of Press Your Luck at 8 o'clock.
Come on, no whammies, stop!
Press Your Luck returns tonight to ABC at 8 p.m. No whammies. Also tonight on A&E, the series premiere of Lie Detector, Truth or Deception. Now, we heard about this one yesterday with Gary Coleman. People suspected of serious crimes voluntarily submit to polygraph tests to try to clear their name. This chick is as guilty as they come. All you got to do is get one look at her face, and you're like, she did it. She did it. She pushed him down the stairs.
I just don't understand why they would, unless it's simply for the paycheck, why they would put themselves in position.
First of all, these people need to shorten this bad boy up. It's apparently a 2-hour premiere spotlighting the 2010 death of different stroke star Gary Coleman, who may have been killed by his... That's an hour-long show. You take the first 15 minutes to summarize his life and what happened and how he died, and then the next 15 to 20 minutes doing the polygraph, and then the final 10 to 15, 20 minutes to give the results and all that stuff. I don't need 2 hours. Hour long is all I need. It's called Lie Detector, Truth or Deception.
Gary Coleman died from a bad fall. Shannon says it is time to prove that she did not kill Gary.
If you had anything to do physically with Gary's fall, the polygraph's going to show that. You know what I mean by physical, right?
Oh, I know. Pushing him, shoving him, throwing him overboard.
Is this important to you?
Yes.
Get serious.
Let's do this.
Dude, she's as guilty as they come.
That's garbage.
You know when you catch your kid with their hand in the cookie jar, literally in the cookie jar, and they turn and say, I wasn't doing anything, and they're literally caught in the act? That's about as guilty as they come. She's even more guilty than those kids.
Well, your opinion.
The series premiere of Lie Detector, Truth or Deception. Look it up quick. See if they got a list of who else are going to be doing their polygraph and if there's anybody else. Also on TV tonight, the 19th season premiere of The Real Housewives of Orange County on Bravo, and season 12 premiere of Impractical Jokes on TBS. Late night shows, the only one that's new is Jimmy Kimmel being guest hosted this week by Anthony Anderson. He's got Eric Bana and the Queens of the Stone Age as his guest this evening. We finally finished up the London attack.
All right.
That thing, all it did was make the police and the MI5 and the authorities in London look like complete idiots.
Just they messed up a lot of different things or something.
Oh, God, did they ever. It's 4 episodes, FYI, so it's a bit of a stretch. It maybe only needed to be 3, but yeah, it made them look foolish in all facets, like they didn't know what the hell they were doing. That was my takeaway from watching it. Did we get a list?
One other person that I can find, and
you don't know who it is?
Yeah, I don't know who it is.
Who is it? What's
Matthew Moore participated in a polygraph test to try to clear his name after being found not guilty of his wife's murder, but still facing suspicion.
Okay, so maybe not all famous people,
but
high-profile cases, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, lie detector.
I don't know. Boggles my mind why people, unless it's just for the money, would go and
they're
do
getting
this.
paid.
Yes,
yeah,
that's it. And
well,
that's
when
the
you're
reason.
barely a celebrity,
yes,
and you're trying to hang on for dear life,
I guess.
Yeah, I'll sit down in the chair for $5,000. That's what's on the boob tube tonight. Apparently, over 5 million people streamed Back to the Beginning.
Oh, yeah.
On Saturday.
I bet.
And over $200 million in charity funds, money was raised for
That's great.
For the charity organizations that they were donating to.
There was 3 of them. It was Parkinson's, and then it was a children's hospital.
one there, yep. And
local to the community.
There's been so much, too, that's come out of all that. Sid Wilson, of course, got engaged to Ozzy's daughter, Kelly. And The Ring just made its appearance on the internets for the first time yesterday. Like close-up view of the ring. It's big. Let's just say that. It's got some size to it. It's girthy. It's a big-ass ring.
Yeah, I suppose.
Also, a lot of the artists that participated in the Back to the Beginning special for Black Sabbath sat down and gave heartfelt commentary on Sabbath and Ozzy and the importance of them. Not just the stuff they said on stage, but like some backstage stuff. And those videos that made their way online, which is pretty cool. Also, Ozzy's isolated vocal tracks making their way.
Oh, really?
So you can hear, because obviously, sometimes through the stream, the quality of sound may not be all that good, but here's a clip of it. It's not, look, the guy's in his 70s, and he's got Parkinson's, so it's not going to be perfect. But it's pretty damn good.
I heard him doing an interview about the special and saying, just talking about that back surgery he had. He wished he never would have, because he's between that and then obviously Parkinson's, and that he just wanted to do it one more time, and that he was going to have obviously a difficult time standing, but that he thought that he was still the Prince of Darkness and wanted to do this one last time.
Here are some of Ozzy's isolated vocal tracks from Back to the Beginning.
Times have changed and times are strange. Here I come, but I ain't the same. Mama, I'm coming home. Time go by, seems to me you could have been a better friend to me. Mama, I'm coming home.
Obviously, not the Ozzy from the 70s or 80s, but still pushing through it, giving it everything he's got, and wrapping up an incredible career as the frontman for Black Sabbath, and an incredible solo career. And Back to the Beginning. I had somebody ask me if it was going to be available somewhere, and I don't know if you can purchase it yet, but I'm assuming they're going to package that bad boy up and put it on DVD and do a box set and all that stuff.
And probably these interviews that you're talking about that didn't make all that everything together, and that will be another monetary gain for these charities as well. And I think it's, who gets to do something like that? You know what I mean? Like, have that moment in their life where they decide that I'm gonna do this thing, and all these musicians, all these people come out to.
Well, usually it's
after you're gone.
Usually it's posthumous. Yeah, it's after you died, and it's it's nice and it's a tip of the cap, but
get to make this kind of thing your last thing and do it in your hometown where it all started and give back to the community. I mean, who gets that? It's amazing.
Very cool. Black Sabbath now with Paranoid.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
That is one of the guys that was at back to the beginning and got his ass booed.
He did get booed, didn't he?
He responded, basically telling people to go F off, and I'm going to be playing sellout shows all over the place, and your booing doesn't matter to me. And I will always stand up for my people. And yep, David Draymond, Disturbed, Stupefy, Rock Mornings, Brian and Gene. Going to get to our hypothetical questions in just a bit. Office Cora is going to join us just after 8.
You're going to hang out with her next week at Rockfest, eh?
Maybe.
She was there quite a bit last year, wasn't she, I think? Oh,
yeah. Look, I never know what the hell is going to happen. I go and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Well, people are always like, oh, let's do this and let's do that and let's go here and let's meet up at this thing. And it's like, I don't know if that's going to happen because I don't know what my schedule is going to be like.
I think she's going to be there quite a bit. So.
I'm sure I'll see her at some point, but I don't know how much hanging out there's going to be. I tend to get pulled in a lot of directions.
Mm-hmm. Well, make sure that she comes down to the booth. You'll be down there for a while.
I'm going to be
cooking
a lot of bacon this weekend to get it ready for Rockfest next week. Bacon King rides again. A couple of years ago, Jacoby Shaddix, he's like, do you just have a bag of bacon in your pocket that you carry around with you? And I was like, hell yeah. And he's like, that's awesome. I was like, hell yeah, it is. You want some? And he said, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Pocket bacon.
And then he ate your pocket bacon?
I think he did. I don't recall if he actually ate it or
you
if he
gave
just,
it to him.
We were posing for the picture and whatever, and yeah.
Maybe just quietly threw it away without you seeing it.
Maybe.
Or he took your weird pocket bacon and ate it.
Like, what did this guy just freak dip it in embalming fluid or something, right?
Maybe not.
Lifeguards at a beach in Florida rescuing an unusual animal that was struggling in the surf. A white-tailed deer.
It's not what you would think of.
Senior lifeguard Chase Hunter. Boy, does that sound like a lifeguard in Florida.
It does.
It sounds like a lifeguard in Florida on a TV show. It doesn't even sound like an actual human being. It's like
Chase Hunter?
They're writing the script for a television show about lifeguards. What are we going to call the senior lifeguard? How about Chase Hunter?
Yeah,
senior
that's a
lifeguard
good one.
Chase Hunter.
I bet he's got flowy blonde hair.
He's a scene man. Along with first-year lifeguard Leo Peters.
Chase and Leo, what'd they do? It's the adventures of
like
Chase and
Timon
Leo.
and Pumbaa jumping in the water down there in Florida. Rushing into the water on Sunday when the deer was spotted struggling in the rough waters during a heavy rain. Hunter was able to pull the deer onto a rescue boat, and the rescuers, assisted by a Flagler Beach firefighter, safely returning the animal to shore.
We have a job to do. We save lives, whether it's a human life or, in this case, a deer.
I had never heard a deer before, and they yell. They yell loud. When I got out there, I thought Chase was the one screaming.
I was just talking to it, it's all right, I'm here to help, calm down. There was also 2 sharks swimming out there the whole time. In my mind, I was telling myself, we're getting this deer in one way or the other.
You don't have to tell Chase to calm down. Chase ain't screaming. Chase is the senior lifeguard and the star of the show.
That's right.
Chase Hunter, lifeguard.
Yes,
it's on the name
senior
tag.
Lifeguard.
Yeah, not Leo.
Never
Peters.
seen a deer out there before, though.
Well, yeah, you're in Florida. You probably don't see too many deer, right?
Well,
especially at the beach.
They're smaller Florida deer, but but in the ocean, yeah.
Unclear how long the deer had been in the water or how far it had traveled. Deer was able to walk and was released back into the wild a short distance from the beach. The fire rescue chief said it was the first time in his 15 years of service that he had heard of a deer being rescued from the ocean. Well, yeah, because they normally get eaten by the sharks that are swimming around. Did you hear him talking about the sharks?
2 sharks were swimming around. They were swimming, yeah. Yeah.
Elsewhere in good news and saving lives, Michigan State Police sharing footage of a helicopter crew that found an 83-year-old woman in a swamp earlier this week.
What?
She's got dementia and wandered off. They found her about a mile away from her home in a swamp, and they were using helicopters and all sorts of different...
trying to find her that... were they specifically looking for her, or did they just happen to fly over?
I think they were using all the stuff, like infrared cameras and
everything to
heat
find
signatures
her.
and all that stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Video released by the Michigan State Police shows an amazing rescue of a missing 83-year-old woman who was found in a swamp. The woman who's got dementia walked away from a home at about 1 in the afternoon.
Scary.
She was found about a mile away in a swampy area. Trooper in a helicopter found the woman in the wooded area. We've located the young lady here, said the trooper on the radio, guiding the police on the ground to the woman through a thick layer of trees. She's going to be in the woods to the west. I will guide you. After several minutes of directions, officers on the ground found the woman who was wearing a pink bathrobe, picked her up, carried her through the woods, back to the road, ultimately setting her down in the cruiser. Woman was okay, checked out, and returned to
her family.
The place where she was living, yeah. Looks like you guys are all set with us, said the trooper in the helicopter. Good work. Appreciate the help.
Oh, man.
Obviously could have ended a whole different way. Text from my guy Heath, the gunny, said Florida deer are just snacks for gators. Yeah, Florida doesn't sound like a good spot to be a tasty deer.
It's a new show, Ocean Rescue Division, starring
Chase Hunter. And rookie lifeguard Leo Peters.
Tune in Thursday nights
on
for
ABC.
Ocean Rescue Division.
We got to work on Leo Peters' name. That's not a very good name.
The Leo I like.
Leo Sanders.
And Hunter Chase.
Chase Hunter.
Oh, Hunter Chase. Chase Hunter.
What if his last name was Prey and it was Hunter and Prey? No?
Leo Prey, you mean?
Yeah. Leo Prey and Chase Hunter.
There's Sandy.
What if his last name was Hunted? Hunter and Hunted.
They're sun-kissed. And they'll rescue
Sandy
you.
Cheeks. This weekend on Fox. All right. Hypothetical Thursday gets started in just a bit. I will go first this week and ask Gene a hypothetical question. We'll get to it in a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
You order double coladas with twice as much booze. So I guess it's not my fault that I puked on your shoes. You went and called the cops at midnight 'cause your vacation sucked. But it was you who ordered octopus that made me blur chunks.
National Pina Colada Day, along with National Kitten Day. New study out of Ohio State University shows that 9% of young adult workers in their 30s use alcohol, marijuana, or harder drugs like cocaine while on the job. For about 6% of those people, it's alcohol, 3% are using marijuana, and nearly 1% are taking coke or other hard drugs, which also includes opioids. And no, it's not people working from home. The risk for substance abuse highest in the food service industry. Why does my burger taste so weird? And in safety-sensitive occupations, including construction. Why did our house fall down?
No, I didn't.
The thinking is that in certain industries like blue-collar or heavy manual jobs, people don't have a lot of support or guidance when it comes to substance abuse. And by adding policies and supportive interventions, we can improve safety, help reduce workers' misuse of alcohol and drugs. This may also help to address the working conditions that may have contributed to the problem. But 9% of workers in their 30s are using alcohol, marijuana, or harder drugs like coke while on the job.
Well, I mean, you said opioids. It could be somebody, works construction, has a horrible back situation. You've heard, obviously we know people like that who have struggled through it.
Swallow some pills just to get up every morning.
Yep.
Hypothetical Thursday here on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene, asking each other hypothetical questions. I will go first this week. You ready? No?
Never. Are we having a staring contest?
No.
You're going to blink first.
All right. You become president of the United States of America. Somehow you do it. First female president.
I don't like slacks at all.
You're slacking it up.
I don't like slacks.
With Hillary. You're getting all the Hillary.
Those are not me.
Hand-me-downs. Hillary's hand-me-downs.
Not good at that. I don't blouse and suit jacket very well.
You're getting all the Hillary hand-me-down suits and jackets. You can't wear dresses anymore.
I
no more
also
dresses.
don't like heels very much.
You can wear a comfortable loafer, right? A comfortable pump.
Sure.
Right? Well, you keep them ankles covered up.
Some sort of Chucks. That would be cool.
You can't wear Chucks as a president. We're not there yet. We're getting there. We're working to it. But, I mean, the president's dropping F-bombs and having UFC fights on the front lawn. So we're getting there. But Chucks, especially as the first female president,
okay, can't do that.
A whole lot of things you got to live up to.
What am I doing? Is this am I redecorating?
You move into the White House.
I'm putting in a bowling alley?
And as we've seen in the past, swimming pools, bowling alleys, all sorts of really cool stuff happening in the White House.
Ooh.
What are you doing as the first female president to the White House to make it unique to your style?
Petting zoo. Can I have
You're the president. You're the first female president in the history of the U.S. You're dodging bullets everywhere you go. People are trying to take you out.
Yeah, but then I can go in there and pet mini cows and stuff.
What's the thing? The first thing you're doing, the most important thing when it comes to redecorating. Maybe we had Jackie O with the garden, and we got all the swimming pools and bowling alleys and all that stuff.
Gardens are fun. I like that. I like some sort of garden where we can take the produce and then make food out of it. That'd be good. Fresh, summery. I like that. I really do think that the petting zoo is and maybe a little aquarium. I could go in and
hang with the fish.
Are you
going in? Are you going in the aquarium,
pet
or
a
are you
jelly
just,
or something? You know what I mean? Like
so you're having one of those open air,
touch the tank things. I mean, somebody else is doing all the work,
well,
right?
Obviously, you're not doing it, but you're the president. You can have it installed.
Oh yeah, I think that some sort of or maybe like a aviary with like
birds
and butterflies.
A lot of poop.
A lot of butterflies in there. Where you could walk through and
one of
there's
those tropical aviaries with the plants and the
cool
drippy, a lot of things dripping.
Yeah, maybe that.
A lot of humidity in there.
A lot of humidity. Yeah, but walking through and it's woo and it's peaceful and the waterfall.
Anything decorating wise? Is that further down the line or a little koi pond?
Yeah.
Inside the White House, or are you having like some sort of
a dome aviary thing?
Like an addition built in the back?
Now I'm thinking about that. That might be what I do.
Aviary or petting zoo? Some sort of animal thing.
Probably.
A zoo of some sort. A menagerie.
Yes. Probably. That's what I would pick.
No garden stuff, no pool, no playgrounds, no shooting range, no basketball court.
No, definitely not a basketball court.
No pool.
I don't know.
Hot tub,
a pool, I guess.
Water slide.
Yeah.
Amusement park. Ferris wheel.
No, probably not. I don't.
Concert stage. What about a concert on the front lawn? What if you had like concerts in the park? And you had like a little amphitheater built. You bring in bands to the White House.
Well, I'm just thinking of like if I wanted to relax, that walking through there, because tough job, right?
Yeah,
I got to have some chill time, and walking through there with the waterfall and the butterflies and stuff, I think could help chill me out. I mean, it's nice for other people to have the playground and the thing and the concerts, and then people could come and enjoy stuff there. That's sure.
So people can't come and enjoy the menagerie, the zoo, unless you're there, or it's just for you? In your relaxation. All right, that says it all. It's just for you. It's good to see. It's good.
It could be open to the
public. It's good to see you be selfish for once. It's nice to see you be selfish. Honestly, you're too much of a commie. You cut your sandwiches up so everybody can have a slice of it. It's good to see you be selfish.
Well, I think I'd need something like that.
Hypothetical Thursday. If Jean was to become the first ever female president, she would put in a zoo at the White House.
Some sort of
shocking.
Aviary.
I was just down in Colombia and I found this animal. Can we put it in the zoo? Well, it's an invasive species. We'll have to build a whole nother pen for it. Yeah, it sounds great.
Not just a zoo, but like, I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably something with animals, for sure. For sure.
All right, some kind of animal thing.
Mm-hmm. And people could come visit it, okay? There could be public hours, too. I'm not saying it has to be just for me. But
all right. There's the commie.
There's definitely Gene hours then, too. There's
Gene only?
special.
Well, you're the president. That's the... That's what the beauty of being the president is. You're not putting in a putt-putt course or anything like that? Go-kart track?
Fun.
Yeah, I might put in a go-kart track.
Yeah.
Like a good one.
Like super fast cars.
Like none of these BS, no bumping, no sliding, and none of this crap.
Well, that would be a real race, and then you can take a real car out there and go.
No, I don't want a real car. I want to go. They're fun, man. They're fun.
Mm-hmm.
Real cars are okay, but the go-karts, they're just. Yeah, some kind of extent, and I'm sure it might already exist. Maybe it's not in the plans that are online, but some sort of extensive shooting range, with exotic guns and bazookas and things like that. Sort of like the Q division and the James Bond movies when you go down to the basement.
All
they got
sorts of different targets and.
Well, they got all the stuff down there, like all the tech and the gadgets and the pew pew pew. A lot of that. Gene would go with some kind of animal garden thing. It's probably sustainable, right? Some kind of sustainable, eco-friendly type thing, right?
That'd be a nice plus.
Yeah. I'm looking at maybe a go-kart track, some kind of cool go-kart track, or some kind of firing range of some sort. Bringing some tanks, some howitzers.
There's probably something like that. We just don't know about it.
Well, they got all the guns and everything on them. If you want to weigh in on our Hypothetical Thursday, you can certainly get in touch with us. Visit rockmornings.com for all our contact info.
I cannot wait to hear what Office Cora would build.
Extra rooms so our friends can stay with locks on them this time around. You can also download the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app, and you can get in touch with us via the app with voicemails and pictures and videos. We'll get to sports after the Offspring.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
Offspring with Gotta Get Away. Rock Mornings, Brian and Gene. The Brew Crew sweeping the Dodgers.
And the first time in 80 years, 100 years, 30 years?
We did get a text. I think this is our friend Brian in Colorado, who let us know that he listens all the time. He texted in this morning and said, "Good morning, everyone. Hell yes, go Brewers. Haven't swept the Dodgers since 2014. It was actually 2017. August of 2017 in L.A. They've never swept the Dodgers in Milwaukee until this week." He said, "Have fun at Rockfest. Thanks for the correction on the year. Hypothetical question here for you, too." This guy's weighing in on it. Brian in Colorado.
What's he saying?
Would you rather stay at a job where you get paid good money but you're working a lot and don't see your family much, or work with less pay while seeing your family more often? Well, I know which one you want. It's the family more.
Yes.
Less money. Given my age and my situation, I would want to work less. Back in my 20s, give me the money. Even into my 30s. But now I'm like, it's more just I don't want to work. I'm tired of it. It sucks. It's awful. I've been doing it forever.
I think it's that. It's not that it sucks.
I've been working almost full time for like 40 years. I mean, legit.
Yeah, keeps going.
12 years old when I started a paper route, and I had over 200 papers. I get home from school, I do my homework, and then the papers would be sitting in a big pile at the end of my driveway, and I'd get on my bike, and I'd take 200 papers and ride through my neighborhood. It took me like 4 hours. I wasn't done until, dinner time, basically. Yeah. And then I worked at a convenience store for a long time, and it's just never ends. And it's like I'm done. I don't want to do it. I hate it.
Time over money, but that was money over time. Was the second one? Is that right?
Yeah. So
you could have more money.
Good money, but you're working a lot. Don't see your family, or less money.
Maybe short. I might do that for a while.
It's that thing we were talking about with the work-life
early
balance.
Retirement.
That work-life balance thing we were talking about.
I might take the money. Get to that.
Brew Crew off tonight. At home against the Nationals tomorrow night. 7:10. First of 3 against Washington. The final 3 games of the of the season before the All-Star break. Elsewhere in sports, Red Bull Racing firing Christian Horner after 2 decades in charge. The Formula One team announced it had removed its longtime team principal and CEO yesterday amid a turbulent season that could ultimately lead to the departure of Max Verstappen. Horner has been the longest-serving team principal in F1. The team, of course, releasing a statement saying, "We would like to thank Christian Horner for his exceptional work over the last 20 years." With his tireless commitment, experience, expertise, and innovative thinking, yada, 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 Red Bull team president Laurent Mekies, I think is how you pronounce his name, will take over as the CEO of Red Bull Racing. But a shocking move in the world of racing as they have gotten rid of this guy who was there for 20 years and had a lot of success. Texas's 2 Major League Baseball teams are joining in to help recovery efforts after the devastating flooding. The Rangers and Astros each pledging $1 million towards relief efforts on Monday. They are the latest professional sports teams to make a donation. The Cowboys, Texans, and the NFL Foundation all donated $1.5 million, along with the state's 3 NBA teams and the NBA's Players Association combining to donate more than $2 million. Elsewhere in the sport of racing, Randy Couture. You hear about him?
I did not.
You know who he is?
I don't think so.
You'd know him if you saw him.
And the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, so Randy Couture is a MMA legend and has now become like an actor and apparently was trying his hand at racing. Like, what do they call it? Like drag racing almost.
Okay.
So mixed martial art legend Randy Couture airlifted to a burn center in Kansas City with injuries stemming from a single-car crash at a pro stock racetrack. Couture suffering first and second-degree burns, trauma injuries, and smoke inhalation in the accident. The initial hope and belief is that he's expected to recover. He's 62, was going to make his National Hot Rod Association racing debut later this year. He's been an avid motorcyclist for years. He had started the licensing process to officially compete.
So, single car accident, it sounds like not a crash, but something happened. And
burned up and airlifted. Never good when you hear airlifted. Not good. Not good. Last but not least, you're out on the golf course. You're having some fun with the boys.
And there's a gator.
Nope. There's a former NHL goon. And you don't know that because he's not a well-known goon and not many people know
so
who
you're just
NHL...
playing golf and then all of a sudden somebody famous is with you. Is that what you're saying? And you don't know? You don't recognize?
The current employer of ex-NHL tough guy Nick Tarnasky say they're looking into the fight on the 4th of July that went viral after the former Florida Panther pummeled another man at a Canadian golf course.
Oh, wait. They got in a fight?
Yeah, Tarnasky coaches Red Deer Minor Hockey's under-17 team. And in a statement to TMZ earlier this week, the hockey club said it was investigating the incident. Given that we understand the matter is being reviewed by local policing authorities and we are conducting our own internal investigation into the alleged incident, we will have no further comments. Dude, the last thing you want to do is be drunk on the golf course and start a fight with a former NHL goon.
You guys need to get off the golf course. You're not scaring anybody.
Come on, man.
I told you! Man, leave him alone. You want to know? You want to scream at me? Hey, you want to go, guy? Hey, leave him alone, man. Bang! Bang! Come on, man. Bang! Get out! Oh, hey. Enough! Get him the out of here!
I'm looking at it right now.
Police in Canada telling TMZ that officers were dispatched to the course following a report of a man who was drunk and starting fights, but then closed the probe when they arrived and the suspect was gone. The fight took place at the Alberta Springs Golf Course in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada, when another man attempted to charge at someone who was thought to be Tarnasky, only to learn the error in his decision as the former NHL brawler tossed this dude into a lake.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
The individual didn't learn his lesson, which most drunk guys don't.
So he came back for more?
Continued to come back for second helpings. And the former NHL tough guy threw several more punches.
I heard him.
And then tossed him to the ground before someone stepped in because he was probably going to kill that guy.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
He threw him in a lake?
Well, it was nearby.
I know, but...
You know, it could have been a sand trap. It could have
tossed him.
All I know is that in this day and age... There's enough of these guys walking around. We've seen it before.
So he's kind of running his mouth. He's just being a jerk. And mess with the bull, you get the horns kind of thing.
F-A-F-O, dude. I got no beef with guys who beat up dudes that run their mouth on the golf course.
I'm going to toss you into this body of water over here.
You want to run your mouth, you're going to find out. There's Randy Couture.
Yeah.
My buddy Gunny, the Gunny Heath, was with him in Vegas. That's Heath, and that's Randy Couture.
Yeah, I looked
former
him up.
MMA
Yeah.
guy. Now he's an actor, and tragedy. But sports on Rock Mornings. We'll get to Gene's hypothetical question for me in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
I've got 1 stick of butter for other things, and then I've got 1 stick of butter that I use for toast, and basically I just rub it on like this instead of using a knife. It feels easier. When the toast is warm, it just melts in. Does that offend people? What's our thoughts?
It doesn't just melt in. This is not a new way to butter toast. This is 100% erroneous, and this girl probably needs to be locked up for her crimes.
Well, it's not a new way, but so she just has a dedicated stick of butter for that?
She thinks that she discovered a new way to butter toasts. Look, this isn't day one. We've been around for a long time. Everybody's tried stuff like this. She basically has 2 separate sticks of butter. Sure. One is for your peas, whatever else you put your butter on,
Mac and cheese. If you're making mac and cheese.
Okay. I was going to say, you're not putting butter on top of the already made mac and cheese.
I mean, like, uses for butter, right?
I think...
Baking, other things.
Right. I think more in terms of, like, if you've
pancakes.
got, you take a pat of butter, you put it on the pancake, then pour the syrup, all that stuff. Anyways, so then she has another stick of butter that she's just sort of handling with the wrap on it, I think, and she's just rubbing it on the toast. And it doesn't just melt in. Especially if it's fresh out the fridge. Now, if it's been sitting out of the fridge and it's softened...
And you're just going like this with your bread over the top of it?
You could certainly do that, but that is not any way to be buttering bread or toast. She thinks she's discovered, a new way to do it, but I'm not doing it that way.
So I told you I have the butter boy.
Yeah.
Which is what we use for corn, which is kind of the same concept here. It's the dedicated.
Something that it holds the butter.
It holds the butter, and you can do to butter your corn. And so it's kind of the same kind of thing, only that her butter boy is her hand, and hers is for toast, not corn.
So it's like applying deodorant, but to a piece of toast. So now you're gripping this toast, and you're trying your best not to,
you wrap it around it?
Destroy the toast while you're holding it, while you're smashing this butter into it. It's like, what are you doing, psycho? That's not how to butter bread.
Everything's better with butter.
It is better.
It is better with butter. Thank you, Caitlin. Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Hypothetical Thursday. My question for Gene was, if you were the president, what would be the first thing you would do to make the White House more of a you situation? And Gene went with some sort of zoo aquarium hybrid thing with an aviary.
Yeah.
So a zoo. I mean, because a zoo has all that stuff.
Things.
A good zoo.
A little mini one. Yeah.
So that was my question for Gene. What's your hypothetical question for me?
It actually came up the other night, so I'm just repeating a question that went around the table the other night.
Your house?
With some adults, not with the kids. But the question was posed that if you could become a kid again now...
I'd steal that money that I saw.
No, I know that part. But I mean, would you... I guess, have a childhood in this era now?
No.
Would you go back to being a kid now?
Hell no.
Versus when you were a kid.
We are the greatest generation of people.
That's not true.
As kids, we had the greatest. We did. Look, I'm not saying we're the greatest generation. We obviously know those are the people that went off and fought in the war. I'm not trying to take that title from them. But in terms of the era that we grew up in that 70s, 80s, and 90s, and sort of getting that amalgamation of all the things that that have happened, were the best. It was the best time to grow up. We lived pre-internet and pre-phone and all that stuff, right? We had we had that ability to enjoy our childhood, right? Now, granted, I didn't have necessarily a great childhood because I had kind of an issue at home, but in terms of all the things. Going out with your friends and all this, and the world was sort of okay for a while there. I mean, it wasn't great, but we were doing okay.
I would
and
say
then
that,
and then as you got older, all the technology started to come in, right? And we started to get cable TV, and we started to get DVRs, and we got phones, and everything started getting better. And then we got internet, and now we've got all this. And has it gotten better as an adult for me? Probably not. I mean, it's a lot, but in terms of being a kid and all that stuff that we sort of had and progressed into,
sure.
The video games got better. I mean, the food got better. All this, everything.
See, I think that if my kids would say that they had a very happy childhood doing lots of kid things. They did also have the world and answers that who was that actor that was in the thing with the thing? Who's this writer that's like instantaneous answers and the world's a lot smaller, so exposure to a lot more things than we certainly had.
As a kid, though, not having the internet and the phones and all that, now you have an appreciation for what that stuff can do for you because we had to go look it up in an encyclopedia. And guys would come to your house with a bag full of books and try to sell you them. And, that was it. And, yeah, so when you grow up with this thing attached to your hand as a toddler and you're just, you see it all the time, you can't fully understand how appreciative you should be of this technology.
So a lot of different things for them. I don't know. It was just an interesting question. We were talking about.
I would not want to be a kid in this day and age and have to be around.
The pressures are a lot.
Just
social media.
The stupid language they use, no cap and sus and all that.
We had
dumb
all
crap.
that too. It's just
we had cool language. It was cowabunga and extreme and all that stuff.
We did. It's the same thing.
We had cool stores back then. KB Toy Store. We had all that Toys R Us
on the internet.
Yeah, you got to get the Sears catalog. That was you look forward to that stuff. Now it's just available all the time.
And you can have it tomorrow.
It's dumb.
Delivered tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, but there was no anticipation. There was no build up to it. I mean, even now, Black Friday fights were awesome. They were great. VHS tapes, Faces of Death, trading those VHS tapes with your friends.
Reflectively at that through the lens of your life. I think that there's just
Saturday
as many
morning
things.
Cartoons, perfect example.
They have just as many things. They're just different.
But it was dedicated watching. It was like it was a thing. It became a ritual.
Generational thing. That's the deal.
But that's why it was better. Kids are stupid today. They're dumb. They're doing dumb dances on the internet. They're not. They have zero function.
I have 3 of them.
You don't have kids. You have adults.
Then they just went through all of this, and they're not dumb.
I would not want to be a kid nowadays.
I think the pressures
and have to do dances and be around other people. Oh, God.
And starting out trying to make it, with what cars and houses and apartments and the cost of everything. That's
hell yeah. My first apartment was $400 a month, and it was a 4-bedroom apartment. It was great.
What I'm saying, right? Now
and I still couldn't afford it.
A lot different.
Yeah,
kid again. Would you be a kid again now?
Not now. No, yeah. I would certainly go back and be a kid again in the 80s and 90s. I mean, the music, the movies, everything was better. Everything was better. Nothing is good nowadays. I feel bad for kids.
That's not true.
They're getting hosed.
That's not true at all.
They're getting hosed. They're just rebooting everything. You don't get to appreciate how awesome Roadhouse was because they make a crappy pseudo reboot of it.
That reboot wasn't
with Jake
that great,
Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor. Give me that effing break.
Wasn't that?
You know what's awesome? Patrick effing Swayze and his feathered hair, kicking ass and taking names. This reboot
through your lens of your life.
They can't appreciate it because there's nothing original, no original content. All they're getting is rehash. It's like the butter lady. The butter lady thinks she invented sliced bread. Other people have held butter and rubbed their toast on it. You're not the first one there, genius.
They've done other things with butter, but we probably shouldn't talk about that.
I know where that butter went. I saw some old people rubbing it on each other.
I saw that too.
Let's see. Brian in Colorado with a lot of text messages, Brian. Brian's got to reel it in a little bit. Maybe a little more succinct. I appreciate that he's listening, but a lot of text.
Passionately and wants to be a part of things.
He said, great video, bang, 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 threw that guy like nothing. And he wasn't small either. Yeah, he threw that dude in the lake. Hell yeah.
Dude, he did. He really did.
Somebody else mentioning Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
Now it's so accessible, no excitement. That's Paulie. Paulie says that. Thanks, Paulie. Tom said, all I heard without context is, I have a stick of butter for other things.
It's a different stick.
Yeah, I would. I'm assuming.
I don't know. It was just
a really interesting
in this
question.
Day and age? I've seen the opportunities and the things that were different for my kids. And
not to be dark. I hate to be dark about it, and I'm not trying to bring up a huge conversation, but you know what we didn't have? The fear of a school shooter.
Well, a lot of that stuff, right? But their Christmas, watching my family through the lens of my adult, their Christmas mornings were just damn magical. You know what I mean? There's so much of their childhood that I got to watch and be a part of and provide from my perspective. And it was some pretty awesome stuff, opportunities that they had.
Yeah, I still would go with the era that I grew up in. I just, again, all the things that were great that have lost their shine because of the phone and the immediacy of everything. Kind of ruins it, Gene. Kind of ruins it. Office Core is coming up in a bit. We'll see what her answers are to our hypothetical questions. Get a hypothetical question from her as well. And if you want to chime in, again, rockmornings.com is where you can find all our contact info. Or you can download the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app, and you can communicate with us through the app.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene, about 8:15, 8:20 every Thursday. We're joined by the one and only, the very talented and lovely Office Cora. How are you, Office Cora?
I'm so good. How are you guys?
Doing all right. Hypothetical Thursday. Let's get right into it. Gene asked me a hypothetical question. It was, if you could grow up again, be a child again, would you want to grow up when you grow up or grow up now in these days and times?
Oh, definitely when I grew up.
What's you don't have to give us your age. I know women get sensitive about that, but I'm assuming you're similar to us. You grew up in the 80s and 90s, sort of a mix of both, okay?
Yep, exactly.
Is there something about your youth and childhood that made it the best? Is there like one thing like that you can say was the best? Was it the movies, the music, the fun with your friends? What was it?
I think it was the music and just like we would be on our bikes from morning till night, just hanging out, meeting up, just having fun.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what you say, trackers.
Nobody keeping track of your stuff?
Yeah, like your parents weren't keeping track of you. There was nothing like that. You know, if you're up to shenanigans.
Yeah, if you got kidnapped, it was just like, you're going to end up on a milk carton. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just track my iPhone, you know what I mean? It was like, sorry, parents, but...
Yeah, where'd she go? I don't know.
My question for Gene was, if you were to become the president, what would be the first thing you do to the White House? Because they've had basketball courts, bowling alleys, all sorts of different stuff there. You move in, you take over, you got control of the White House. What's the first thing you want to do to put in there? What do you want to do to redecorate, make it more like your place, your spot?
Ooh, well, I want to paint it so then it's not the White House.
Okay, what color are we going with? Purple?
You mean the outside?
Yes. I think I want it blue.
The blue house.
You are really
you're not getting away with that. That's not going to happen.
Don't care if you are the president. That's
Gotta
not
be honest.
happening.
Don't think they're going to let you. Sorry, we're out of blue paint forever. We're never going to have blue paint
They're
again.
letting me.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not.
If
They're
I'm the
not.
president,
Definitely not. They're not changing the White House to blue. No.
Welcome, leaders of the free world. Would you like to come to the Blue House? Doesn't have the ring. Sorry,
not going to happen. No blue paint. I'm with Brian on this one. All blue paint will be stopped.
We'll give you another building in D.C., you know what I mean? Maybe you can get like the Lincoln Memorial or something.
She shed. You can paint your she shed.
Put a little she shed in the back.
Paint that blue.
Nope.
Not the White House.
I'm painting it blue.
All right. Office Core, do you have
What did you guys say?
I'm like a little mini zoo aquarium, atrium with like
think of a zoo. Think of a cool zoo.
Butterflies and flamingos and koi pond and.
I said I would either put in a really kick-ass go-kart racetrack, or I would put in a really cool firing range if there isn't one already, with like really cool guns and bazookas and tanks, and where you can just fire off all sorts of stuff and have fun.
Wow.
You know those cool zoos where you go to and they have that little tidal pool thing with all you can touch all the, like that, Office Cora.
I like it interactive and zen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a hypothetical question for us?
If the house was blue.
No, it wouldn't.
No,
That's a bad, terrible idea.
It's not.
Much like letting strangers live in your house without locks on the doors.
We usually love what you say, but that one's a big no.
I only have 3 random strangers living with me right now, but guess what?
What?
I installed locks.
Yeah.
We know. We talked to you about this before.
Yeah. Well, thanks to you guys.
I'm happy that you're keeping yourself safe.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
What is your hypothetical question for us, Office Core?
Okay. If your dreams were broadcast as a TV show, what would it be rated?
X, R, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
somewhere in the
definitely
adult.
Definitely.
I don't remember my dreams, so I have no idea, but I'm assuming the majority of them are pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if mine are bad. They're weird. They're too weird for PG. They're too weird. And sometimes they involve a tiger eating Brian alive. Sometimes, stuff like that. That's not just for everyone.
I almost never remember my dreams, so I'm just going to say rated R, just because it's probably not.
A lot of horror stuff, scary, teeth falling out, getting lost in houses.
Ooh.
Scary stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty G-rated, unless you count the one dream where I couldn't find my pants.
Did you have underpants on at least?
No.
So you were totally Donald Duck in it, huh?
That would have been fine.
You were Winnie the Pooh in it.
Mm-hmm.
No pants, doing the no pants dance.
But normally, very G-rated.
That makes sense. That tracks. So, Office Cora, you're going to be at Rockfest. We know that's next week.
Next week,
so
but what do you got going on this weekend?
But guess what's happening this week?
What?
The Northern Wisconsin State Fair.
Oh, State Fair food, yeah.
Yeah.
I will be knee-deep in funnel cakes and cheese curds.
Hell yeah. Where? When is that all? Is it start today or tomorrow?
It started last night.
Okay.
But tonight, Hairball is on the stage.
Know those guys.
They're incredible. Have you seen them?
Many times.
Many times.
Yeah, they've run through the area many times.
Oh, my gosh. They're just, if you haven't, you should see them.
Did you know there was, they did a concert where one of the guys' hair caught fire in the middle of the show and he just kept playing guitar?
Get out.
There's video of it online. Yeah, you can find it if you want to look for it.
Oh, wow.
So Hairball tonight.
Friday, Flow Rida, and Saturday.
Oh, he was at the lacrosse center not too long ago.
Yeah.
And we missed him because it took too.
Are you serious?
It took too long for him to show up. Actually, I think we might have been there for him. He was playing and it took forever. He was like late on a flight from Denver or something like that, and I was just waiting around. But Flow Ride is going to be there, huh?
Yeah.
Friday night, is there entertainment Saturday?
Foreigner.
Really?
Wow, that's fun.
Cold as ice? Foreigner?
And the Chi High chorus, the Chippewa High School chorus, is going to be on stage performing a song with them.
With Foreigner? Oh, that'll be great.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're going to be at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair all weekend eating funnel cakes and watching live tunes.
Sounds like a great time.
Oh, yes.
Sounds like a good time.
Yes.
I saw that there's all sorts of entertainment, all sorts of food, all sorts of things to do. It sounds like you're going to have a good weekend. And then it looks like next week we got some perfect weather for Rockfest. I saw temps in the 70s.
Oh, I hope so. And also, the U.S. National Coupe Tournament is coming to town. There are 144 teams from all over the world, like Europe and everywhere. That's pretty much all day Saturday and Sunday at the Eau Claire Soccer Park.
Coupe?
Coupe.
Which one is that again?
They throw things.
Is that the disc golf thing?
No. It's K-U-B-B.
Yeah.
Google it. They throw wooden blocks. It's a thing.
When was the last time you had your hands on a big wooden block?
What is, I don't get it.
Office Score, how often do you handle some wood?
It is.
What kind of wood is it? Is it like a log?
I told you. No.
Is it like a log throwing? I mean, what are we
No,
talking?
they're definitely throwable.
So what are they doing with the
Like
coupe?
little pieces, little chunks of wood.
I'm
Do
watching
you
how
like
you play.
smaller wood or bigger wood? Which one do you
new
prefer?
favorite game. Endless hours of fun.
Isn't there an SNL bit about log?
figure it out.
It's log. Isn't there an SNL sketch about that?
Okay, so I'm throwing sticks. Oh, and I'm trying to knock these things down. That's the game?
Yeah. That's a game.
So it's like Frolf?
No.
Eau Claire is the coupe capital of America.
It's like dodgeball with sticks?
No.
No.
All right, so you're putting sticks in the ground, and then you put one in the middle? Oh, this looks too I can't do this.
I don't know if it's Norwegian or what, but then you're trying to throw you're trying to
hit the thing off with the stick?
Or land it on top of it.
And then
Somebody
do
who
this?
knows how to play, tell us.
There's a lot of strategy there.
Oh, these guys are really...
Oh, and also, it's the 13th annual Freedom Fest on Saturday.
Freedom Fest?
It's a Harley ride.
That sounds a little more fun than Coob.
Yeah. It starts with a pancake breakfast at the Chippewa Falls Harley place, and it ends at Coyote's Den Bar and Grill.
I got to be honest, Cora. I feel like you could teach these guys a few things about how to handle the wood. These guys don't seem to know what they're doing with the wood in their hands.
I definitely could. I'm a wood handling expert.
I mean, at one point, this guy's got 7 or 8 pieces of wood in his hand.
2 teams compete to knock down wooden blocks, and ultimately the king.
Want to go throw wood at wood this weekend with me? We call it Coob.
Team start.
I'm sure it's a lot of fun.
On the opponent's side, field.
This is my claim to fame. I haven't gotten a sliver in 3 years.
Really?
How do you know that? When's the last time you got one, Brian?
I don't know, like a couple weeks ago. I
can't remember that. How would you know? Like, do you mark off days?
I remember.
Some people have memories. We don't. Radio and alcohol have ruined our brains, all right? We're mush.
The last time I got a sliver was 3 years ago, September 7th. That's kind of a lot. Brian.
All right, Office
very
Cora.
specific.
Well, Brian was the one asking me about the wood, and I just had bragging rights.
Well, I'm glad that when you put a big piece of wood in your hands that you don't get any slivers, Office Cora.
Yeah, and we want to learn more.
Claim
maybe
to fame.
We'll play this at Rockfest, maybe.
You guys are my favorite.
Office Cora, we love you. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
Yes, see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Traditional Swedish game.
Go figure. What do we have laying around? Hansel? I don't know. We've got some pieces of wood. Why don't we stick them into the ground and try to hit them off? Sounds like a plan. Oh, this is so much fun.
There's a lot of different rules here.
Yeah, too many rules. That's the problem. Look.
Variations, we can do that.
Cornhole's great, right? I get it. Bag, hole. Bam. End of story. Very easy. Yes. Washers. Washer, little wood thing.
In the thing.
Got it.
Knock the beer
Cornhole,
off the top of the whole thing. Just
Frisbee golf. Got it. Got it. A lot of rules with wood tossing. I'm not. Chris in Alabama said there is an entire documentary on what happens when presidents change over and everything is done in less than 12 hours during the inauguration. They could put your zoo up in 12 hours. Mm-hmm. Like, before you even do the Bible hand thing, they're back there with Tim the Two-Man Taylor. Putting in your zoo. Vicky said, good morning, Brian and Gene. Could you guys pass along a hello to my new best friend, Office Cora? We're Facebook official, so she's my new BFF after last week. I did not read your text until after we talked to her, so I apologize. Also, I got a message on Facebook from my guy, Mitchell Moe. My guy Mo, he says, I wish your expensive medicine made your skin condition worse. Give me a shout out this morning. I love you. I'm drunk. I said, why are you drunk so early? And he works third shift. And I said, I love day drinking. And he said, I love you and your beautiful skin. And I said, I love you and your black, beautiful skin.
This is Nick?
No, not Black Nick. This is the other black guy that I know. When people call me racist, I say, no, I know Mitch. I know Mo.
Mitch
and they're like, oh, yeah, you're cool.
Why? But it's your skin. Why is he commenting on that? Oh,
this guy Rizzy. He likes to bust my balls.
All right.
I got to be careful, though, because like people see me being mean to him, and it's like, no, we're friends. This is how friends interact. We're mean to one another. Like, I saw him and his kid one day, and I drove by, and I gave him the finger.
And then he did back.
And he honked and waved, and it's like, if somebody saw that, they'd be like, that white guy just gave that black guy the finger. They wouldn't understand.
It's a relationship.
Yes, we're boys. We're good. We're homies.
I understand.
We hang.
Mm-hmm.
And he sends me drunk messages.
I see that.
All right. Bad News, Happy Music is coming up in just a bit. Also going to get to the rest of our daily check-ins. If you've got something you want to join in on, find all of our contact info at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril.
Now that's just nasty.
Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man. Florida man. Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
I'm assuming you've received the incorrect Amazon purchase in the past?
Yes.
Somebody else's? Maybe something you didn't order?
Yes.
Had to return it?
Yes.
Well, what do you do if you get hundreds and hundreds of packages from Amazon over the course of a year?
They won't stop coming.
They won't stop coming.
It started with one package, and I was like, it's got my address, but it's not for me. And I went to my neighbors, and I was like, oh, did somebody accidentally put the wrong last digit? Nobody knew what it was. Oftentimes, the amount it costs to return it is about more than 50% of what they paid for it. And every time I was absolutely assured, this will stop. You won't get any more of these packages. You'll hear from us within 24 to 48 hours.
It's some sort. She's a glitch. She's in the Matrix.
So there's a term called brushing. It's an online shopping scam where people get packages sent to them with random crap inside, almost like a swatting thing with the video games and the police. A woman in San Jose, California has been getting hundreds of Amazon packages over the last year, all containing the same thing: oversized fake leather car seat covers, which were made in China.
Oh, my gosh.
They're scattered all over her property. She can't fit her car inside her garage anymore because she has so many boxes of these things. And she also refused delivery on hundreds more. She repeatedly complained to Amazon. They gave her the runaround. They promised deliveries would stop. They did not stop. They told her to dispose of the boxes herself or donate them. But the woman said she couldn't afford to do that. And no charity wants hundreds of fake leather seat covers. So she went to the local news. They did a story about it. Turns out that an Amazon seller in China had randomly put her address as the return address because they wouldn't have to pay to have all the large boxes sent all the way back to China.
Oh, my gosh.
Once the woman's story aired on the news, Amazon finally sent a truck over to her house to pick up all the boxes, and they have supposedly taken care of the issue, so she never receives any more of these boxes.
Doing its job.
Right? What am I going to do? I've called Amazon. I can't call the cops. Cops can't do anything. So who do I call? Local media.
Yep.
Big story on the news.
All of a sudden, action.
Amazon's like, oh, yeah.
We'll fix that.
Probably do
Looks
something
bad.
about that.
Black eye for us.
Yeah. You got to see all these boxes. I mean, it's crazy. It's like hundreds of these things. There's pictures of it. There's her outside her garage going, one of these. Yeah.
Well, I'm trapped in hell. I thought it was different things. Like, it was always a different, like, ooh, I wonder what the mystery thing is today. But no, always the same.
The next iPhone update will apparently warn you if you're having sex. That's not the one I wanted.
Will warn you if you're having sex?
That's not the one I wanted. Sorry about that. Hold on one second.
I understand. So why does it need to warn me? Don't I know that I'm doing it?
Well, apparently, rumor has it that Apple's upcoming iOS 26 update will include a feature that detects if you're having phone sex over FaceTime. It will pause your camera, and then a warning screen will pop up and will say, you may be showing something sensitive. If you feel uncomfortable, you should end the call. Then there are two buttons, resume audio and video or end call.
So if it's your phone is accidentally turned on while you're doing this, was a Grey's Anatomy scene. She didn't mean to have
like
the phone
Shannon
on
Sharp. Remember Shannon Sharp was getting recorded and now he's getting sued for all that stuff. It's supposed to be a security feature, but some people online are creeped out that Apple knows when you're being nasty.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, man.
Duh.
Yeah.
Big surprise. They're recording everything you say and do.
How do you not know that?
Apple has not commented yet, so it's still a rumor, but multiple people who are beta testing the new software update have seen it in action. A couple things to note. There is a place on your device's settings where you can kill this sensitive content warning on or off. You can turn it on or off if you want.
Or don't have your phone in a room
So
with
it doesn't always have to be a buzzkill if this is something that you do on a regular basis. Apple is probably not spying on your naughty chats. The images on FaceTime are analyzed using machine learning locally on your phone. Nothing is transmitted to Apple. Mm-hmm. At least that's what they say. Mm-hmm. The iOS 626 update will be released sometime in September with or without this feature.
Ahem. Excuse me. Naked people. FaceTime alert from Apple. Inappropriate content detected on FaceTime. Get a room, why don't ya? Honestly. No one wants to see that. You're disgusting. Just kidding. But seriously, also, I'll be honest. I've never seen it done quite like that before. And I've seen a lot. While that's big, Apple recommends you keep it classy or at least close the blinds. This message will self-destruct in embarrassment. Carry on, you little freaks.
Watch out for your new iOS update later this year if you're going to be FaceTiming some naughty stuff. Might be sending your images right to Apple. We've seen this before. Now it's happened again. We had a story about this, actually, I believe, last week. A Detroit police officer arrested last month for stealing about $600 from a suspect while he had his own body camera on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's where that cash was at. It was in my trunk in a cooler.
Not the same
bag.
story.
Not
Different cop, different story.
Same.
More money. That guy was $300 in his wallet. And the cop took it and put it in his trunk. And then when the other cop showed up, he's like, oh gee, where's the wallet? Oh, here it is in my trunk.
In my duffel bag.
Actually, he had taken the cash out and given the wallet back and said that, the cash must have fallen out. Well, that was a similar story, but this is in Detroit. Police officer arrested, accused by the department of stealing about $600 from a suspect. The strongest evidence against the officer, the department says that his own body camera was on. The commander there says our internal affairs lieutenant took a look at the video and immediately recognized that we had a criminal act here. Officer suspended without pay, not been charged as of yet. The prosecutor's office there reviewing a warrant. The 4-year veteran of the department arrested after reporting for work in June over what he is alleged to have done during that traffic stop back in March.
Cops is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, your body cam's on.
Your body camera's on, you big stupid idiot. 37-year-old woman in China. Viral after revealing she hasn't properly removed her makeup in over 2 decades and now has a very severe, and when I say severe, I mean severe rash on her face. And when I say on her face, I mean the entire face from hairline to chin line. You got to see the pictures of this thing.
Do I? Oof. I don't know.
You got to see it.
I don't know.
37-year-old woman from China, viral, revealing she hasn't properly removed her makeup in 22 years, known only as Gao, G-A-O. The woman taking to social media to share her story as a warning to others to properly cleanse their face regularly after putting on makeup. Apparently, she failed to do so for 22 years.
Like she doesn't wash her face?
Ultimately leading to a serious allergic reaction that left her face inflamed. Gao said she became fascinated with her mother's lipstick at an early age, started wearing makeup when she was 15, found removing the makeup too troublesome. Instead, going by the principle, why bother removing the makeup if you're going to put it back on the next day? Only would rinse her face with water before going to bed and then apply more makeup the next day. Layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of makeup. Getting into her pores, into her skin, deep into her system.
So she'd only rinse.
Dealt with acne for years, said her skin was in relatively good condition until earlier this year when she suffered a serious allergic reaction that caused her face to swell and deform to the point where she became unrecognizable. And instead of going to a dermatologist, she went to a medical aesthetics clinic for a skin booster injection that only made things worse, adding a purple hue to her skin.
Yeah, this is bad.
The itch is unbearable. I hide at home every day. I don't dare to go out. My whole face is wrinkled and hideous.
Oh, it's wrinkled and hideous. But yeah, you got to get that toned down there. That's a really red.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know how you just rinse.
Good luck.
For 22 years. Just rinsing? No, never want to wash that?
Apparently not. Too much work. Last but not least, bad news, happy music. What is the number one rule of Zombieland?
Oh, I don't remember.
Number one rule, Gene.
I don't remember.
What
it's
is
like 3 things, isn't it? Oh, cardio. Is that the one?
There's a lot more than 3 things. What is the number one rule of Zombieland, Gene?
I can't remember. Isn't it cardio?
You don't remember the number one rule of Zombieland?
So. And why am I alive when everyone around me has turned to meat? It's because of my list of rules.
Oh, yeah.
Rule number 1 for surviving Zombieland, cardio.
Good guess.
Thanks.
One of the other very important rules in the world of Zombieland is the double tap.
Yes.
And that stems from watching a lot of horror movies because the guy is never dead.
Do it again, do it again, do it again.
When he's lying on the floor after you shot him up with a bunch of bullets.
They always pop back up.
They pop back up.
Because you didn't take care of it. And then
so you don't go in to turn him over and get a look.
Yeah.
You take that shotgun, you re-rack it, and then you take 2 more blasts at the dome.
Yeah.
You make sure that sucker's dead. Well, apparently that didn't happen with this guy. As a man climbed out of his own grave after he was shot in the head and walked into a convenience store.
Huh?
This is in Australia. A man who had been targeted by a contract crew of hitmen who are also believed to be responsible for 2 other deadly attacks within the last week was covered in dirt from his own grave walking into a service station in Jimboomba, just south of Brisbane, at about 5 in the morning. When he arrived at the gas station with a bullet lodged into his brain, he begged the staff not to call emergency services. An employee who came to the man's aid said he had a severe facial injury, including his eye socket.
Oh.
The worker continued to explain he came in and asked for a taxi, and I said, "Are you sure you don't want an ambulance?" But he said, no ambulance. CCTV footage capturing the man slumped over before he was taken to a hospital against his wishes, where the bullet was then removed from his brain. The homicide squad commander there said it was a miracle the guy survived. He was buried in a shallow grave, unbeknownst to the offenders who thought he was deceased. The male crawled out of the grave. So they dug a hole, no box, threw this guy in, covered him with the dirt.
Threw him in there, and then...
Woke up a little later. Oh, why am I covered in dirt? Oh, that's right. I just got shot in the head.
And I'm struggling to breathe here with all this dirt on me.
The cops say the man had been lured over state borders by the gang, not knowing what their ulterior motive was.
That guy doesn't want to be... He doesn't want all this attention right now. Just pretend he's still dead, please. If they think he's dead, he can go on living his life. Now they know he's not.
Cops are obviously looking for the people that shot this guy.
Fine, but can we DL on the that I'm still alive part? That's why he didn't want to go to the hospital. That's why he didn't want the cops involved, because he's like, I'm just going to try to get this bullet out.
The zombie with the bullet in his brain, or formerly bullet in his brain, is recovering.
Quietly, somewhere.
Yeah.
Under witness protection. They can't know he's alive. Yet. It's better off they just think he's in the grave.
Yeah, well, they thought he was.
I know.
He's not.
Yeah, well, shh.
Double tap. Shh. Double tap. Very important. One of the more important ones. Bad news, happy music on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Get to our daily check-ins after Rage Against the Machine.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us.
Check.
We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Rockmornings.com is our website with all of our contact info. If you want to listen to the show live, you can go there as well, or check out the daily podcast. Text from my guy, #NotJeff, said, I have a set at my cabin, and I have a set at the house. This guy loves Cub.
He loves it.
Is it Cube or
Cub?
Cub?
I think.
Cube. I'll bring them over to your backyard and teach you. It's actually a super fun game. I said, I'm sure with a beer in my hand, it would be fun.
Yes. We just didn't know anything about it. It's a Swedish backyard game made of wood games.
My guy, the Gunny, very happy to see. I let him know that he's not on the social medias, so I let him know that Full Metal Jacket came out on this day in 1987. He said, R.I.P. Gunny. A lot of text messages today. Somebody said, if I were president, I'd add a bumper car arena and a room for a laser tag or airsoft games.
Laser tag, that'd be fun.
Definitely wouldn't want to be a kid in this day and age, especially with the price of housing.
That's the part that's scary.
Said, just wanted to say you guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you very much.
Well, that was a very nice text.
That obviously was not Bill from yesterday. And yes, I'm carrying that with me for a while. Vicky said, good morning, Brian and Gene. Could you guys pass along a hello to my new BFF, Office Cora? We are Facebook official. So she's my new BFF after last week. Vicky wanted to mow last week, but was concerned I wasn't going to be doing a podcast, so she didn't want to miss Office Cora.
Well, now they're friends. They can connect in person.
Chris said there's an entire documentary on what happens when presidents change over, and everything is done in less than 12 hours during the inauguration. So your zoo would be up and running ASAP.
I think it would take longer than that to build my little aquarium zoo aviary.
Spencer said that Dio, Ronnie James Dio, said that he got the idea for the devil horns when his grandma used to scold him. She would do the devil horns, but point the fingers at him.
Ah.
T-Stat texted in and said, just have to say that I'm in your boat, Brian. I would totally be a kid in the 90s over again today. The late 80s and 90s were a great time to be a kid. Movies, music, no social media, just friends and life. Have a good day. Yeah, getting on your bike, write a note. I'm out with a donut. I'll see you at dinner time. Somebody texted in and said, I missed some of the show. The hockey player was in 167 fights while in the NHL. The guy who beat up the dude on the golf course.
Well, he got in his face.
Come get these hands. Come get these hands.
Came at him.
And you know the dude's looking for it, too. Like, because he's a goon. So he spent his whole life being a goon, and now he's a retired goon. And what does a retired goon do? Play golf? And so some drunk idiot comes at him on a golf course in Canada? Come get these hands. I've been dying for a fight.
Picked him up and threw him in the water.
It's like in Superbad when they go into the room and he's like, I've been dying for a fight. And then, who's this guy? And he's got to sing the song.
It's like that.
It's like that. That dude was just itching for one.
He's waiting there for somebody to act up.
Brian in Colorado said, nice, great video. Bang, bang, bang. Threw that guy like nothing. Mel said, I agree with you, Brian, growing up in the 70s and 80s. Dan said, flipping channels back and forth when WCW and WWE were having Monday Night Wars. Now, I was an adult during those time periods, but yeah, hell yeah, that would be awesome. Those, you couldn't beat them. You couldn't beat those days, those Monday nights. Oh. Historic. Right. Legendary. I also got a text said, timing I know, but I was driving. If firing ranges are of interest, the Home and Rod and Gun Club has a PCSL match the end of the month. The website has more info. It's not so much firing ranges. It's like when I Rock 101 in Manchester, we had a unique gun firing range, right? And I don't know the legality of it all. This was many years ago. This was before I ever moved here. But the guy had movie guns, the Rambo stuff, you know?
You could go out there.
And you could go there and pay him money to shoot these crazy-ass guns. It was the first time I ever shot a 50 cal. And I thought I was awesome until you shoot it and it teaches you a lesson about recoil.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're
more
like,
about that gun than
you're like, oh yeah, I'd have to have a body like Arnold to be able to hold it with one hand, and I still wouldn't be able to hit anything. Anyways, we got a lot of other text messages talking about Hypothetical Thursday, missing the excitement of Saturday morning cartoons. Now it's so accessible, no excitement. Tom said, all I heard without context is I have a stick of butter for other things.
That's what I said.
Yeah. A lot of people early this morning wondering if the streaming was down. It was, but apparently it's back up and running. So
it's kind of cloudy, too. It looks like rain, like all of a sudden. It is raining.
It is.
All of a sudden.
It's coming down.
Yeah. So that's on and off today, scattered in areas.
Good.
So
Lawn needs it. It's going to rain again tomorrow, I think. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.